Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Soup Bowl, where things get messy and we talk about leading our lives. Thank you so much for joining me on today. Thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing, and thank you for going on this journey with me. And I am enjoying on going on the journey with you. Because life gets crazy, people. Life gets crazy. And it just doesn't stop. Like there's no, we're going to freeze in time and then like we can pick things back up like and go around it, right? That's not happening, right? So again, we're on this journey and we're doing it together because we are not meant to do it alone. When we're doing it with others, we get a little bit more clarity, a little bit more understanding. It gets a little bit crazy, adventurous, and exciting. And so don't do life by yourself. Do it with others, okay? So what are we going to get into today? There's a couple of things that's just been kind of like, smoozing over in my mind and a lot of things. But I wanted to share with you all this journey card. However, I cannot find it. Not like tangible or whatever, but it was in my phone. I was in a class and the instructor actually sent the screenshot of it and it's gone. It disappeared. I don't know where it is, but I really wanted to share with you all what was on that card. I thought it was pretty significant. And basically it was talking about diamonds and this value of diamonds and what they bring and how we should see ourselves as diamonds, and we should see ourselves in value and things of that nature. And so I thought about that and I was like, yes, so as I'm listening to this card being read and at the same time just kind of thinking about a diamond. Like I've never seen like a diamond in person get made, right? But I have seen like different types of documentaries on reference to those miners that actually goes down right into the mines and actually are mining for diamonds and what that takes and the process that it takes to find them. And it's very intriguing and very interesting. And then of course for us to see them on things that we wear, right? Materialistic things that we wear throughout our day, and the price tag that goes along with those diamonds, those particular diamonds, the clarity of it, the shape of it, the color of it, all of those great and wonderful things. So I just thought it was pretty fascinating to see that, or to hear the stories. Not only that, but just how much miners are actually making to find these diamonds. And, it's pennies, right, compared to what you think that they should be making, considering the price tag that we actually value, that we put on pretty much diamonds. But the interesting thing enough, though, that when I did look up what is a diamond, right, what does it consist of, what's the value of it, right? And so many different things, so many different topics came up in reference to diamonds. And so what I want to share with you right now is that, of course, if you Google it or anything, but I found it very interesting that a diamond is made of the same material that a pencil lead is. You have a diamond, and then you have a pencil. Which one is more value? Which one do we consider to be more valuable? In our society, what do we deem to be more value? Is it the diamond or is it the pencil? So, of course, right here, like, of course, it's the diamond, Renee. Like, duh. Like, but is not a pencil valuable as well? It is what we decide what is to be of value, right? Because I could be in a situation where I need to fill out a particular form or whatever to win or to receive a certain amount of money or prizes or whatever the case may be, and I have nothing to write with. All I have is a diamond. A diamond is not going to help me fill out that paperwork. I need a pencil. I need a pen. I need something, right, that is going to transfer onto this document that I have to fill out to receive this particular prizes or money or whatever the case may be. So at that point, that diamond holds no value to me, at all. When we think about gifts and in exchanging vows and things of that nature, a diamond might hold more value in that circumstance or whatnot, right? A lady, a man, they like to see, the sparkle, the bling bling or whatever. I'm not really a blingy person. Just a little bit of it is enough for me. But the fact that they're made out of the same material is fascinating, and how we as individuals place different types of value on it. Now, the thing about a diamond, right, that we probably don't even, think about when we go purchase or looking at one and thinking about the size of them or whatnot, but the process that the diamond goes through. The process that the diamond goes through. I believe that it's more that where we place that value on, that the way it looks at the end, but see, the number 2 pencil goes through a process as well. It just doesn't come up to being a number 2, right? There's the chopping and the cutting that's going away with it. And then it's the same thing with the diamond. However, the diamond can take more heat, can take more pressure than the making of the number 2 pencil. There has to be a chiseling effect that actually carves out the dimensions, right? The shape of the diamond. If you were to chisel, using a chisel in making a pencil, it will probably never become a pencil, right? So there's this process that each of those particular items must go to be at the expected end. They have to go through a process to come to an expected end. And so when we're thinking about where do we hold our value at, when we look at ourselves and then when we look at other people, right, there's a process that must be going to the end. So you think about, like in the beginning I was talking about, or each episode as far as that, we were not meant to do life alone. And so when you think about doing life with people, there are processes that each of us are going through individually, right? And then collectively. And there is pressure that comes along with that. Are we willing to sustain that pressure of going through with someone to their expected end? Or do we expect for people just to already be at the expected end? Do we expect that? Because we're really never finished. And that is why we're always longing for other things, because we're never really finished. There's always going to be this void that's there, that we're always searching and looking and longing for something else. Like whatever we were longing for last year, may not be what we're longing for, no longer longing for this year, because we've gotten there, we've achieved it, we've seen it or whatever. And so now there's something else, right, that we're longing for, and that's because we're never finished. So I wrote something else. This was what I was thinking about when I was thinking about value. The value of knowing your worth. How can anyone value what you have if you do not value yourself? We're always sitting here. I don't want to say always, but a lot of times we're sitting here and we're waiting for people to validate us. We're waiting for people to give us kudos. We're waiting for people to throw out the red carpet and have the pom-poms in hand to say that there's value, that we're valued, that we're being seen, that you want to. Now, don't get me wrong, you do need to be with people that's, cheering you on. But when it comes to, just living life and being able to go through this process, a lot of times we get stuck at a certain place because we feel that they're not valuing us. They're not hearing me. No one's cheering me on. I'm not going to be able to do such and such because I'm not being valued. And so we give a half, poor, you know what, on our jobs because, oh, they're not valuing me, so I'm gonna just stop working. I'm just gonna stop, blase, because you feel as though they're not valuing you. But do you value yourself? Do you value yourself enough that no matter what anyone says, no matter what anyone does, that you will continue to be the best of who you are in those moments? That every time you show up, you're going to show up being the best person that you can possibly be, regardless of what anyone else is saying. Will you show up? Do you value yourself enough to show up being the best person that you can be? Now, that is having value for what you have to bring to the table. Should we always have to prove ourselves, right, in these particular spaces? No, we should not. But you should always show up the best version of who you are, not giving anyone anything less, not giving yourself anything less. Because when you leave those places, those people, that surrounding, that situation, you should always want to say that you've given everything your best. And what you did was from the best intentions of your heart and nothing else. Because people will not always be there to value you, to cheer you on, or have your best interest at heart. But you should be able to value yourself. And when you value yourself, you can value other people. See, people that don't value other people is because they don't value themselves. They haven't come to terms with themselves. They haven't come to terms with their own talents and their own giftings of who they are. They have not embraced who they are, right? We're all creative beings. We're all different and unique in our own way, but we got the same blood running through our veins. See, there's some similarities and then there's some differences. And those differences is what makes us who we are and the uniqueness of who we are. That is why certain types of people are drawn to you, because of the uniqueness of who you are. You can't be going out there trying to be nobody else. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And people are going to see the fakeness of that, and they be like, I can't rock with that. I can't rock with the fakeness. I can't do it. So do you value yourself enough? Okay, other thing is, we look towards others, right, for validation, for value to be seen. We do things, we buy things, we say things because we believe that those things hold value and will bring us value in the eyes of others. So I'm going to go buy a car. It's got to be fancy. It's got to be clean. It got to be shiny. Ooh, all these things. I don't know why I just said ooh. I think I was visualizing something in my head for me to be like, ooh. But it has to be nice and sleek and shiny or whatever the case may be. It's like when Teslas first came out, right? It was just kind of like, well, I got to go give me a Tesla, right? And you rolling around in a Tesla because why? Is it because you want people to believe that you are at a certain status? And so then now that brings you value? You want to give your accolades, and so that brings you value. And what do I mean when I say that? Meaning you have to give your resume every time you're in a conversation. You have to give your credentials every time you're in a conversation. Is that bringing you value? You're trying to prove your value to people in those circles. But who are you without the shiny car? Who are you without the accolades? Who are you without the credentials? Who are you without the titles? Who are you without that position? Who are you? Can you answer the question? Who are you without any of these things. These things will not last. In reality, they have really no value because they do not make you who you are. They're actually just functions. They're actually just things, right, that us in society, man-made or whatever, created, right, for to proclaim certain social status within a man-made system. But could it be possible that if I just show up being the best version of who I am, that actually none of those things will matter because of the uniqueness will draw people to me? The uniqueness will open up doors for me. The uniqueness will open up opportunities for me. Because showing my credentials and my resume, I mean, like, I had this visualization in my head, right, that we're walking around as human beings on this earth. And like, like there's like this little scroll thing at the top of our, but you see these little sci-fi movies, but anyway, it's like little scroll things like on the top of our head, right? We have these little scroll things on the top of our head, right? And there's these signs or whatever saying credentials, right? And like there's certain colors, right, that represents like what social status you're in or whatever. And like you can like literally push the button on the side and then it will like scroll down like right in front of our face. And so people can see like all your credentials. And I know you're just kind of like, that's crazy. Who would do that? Why would anybody want to walk around like that? But that's actually what we look like when we do that. It's as though you're wearing it in front of your face. And people have to see that before they see you. Now I'm going to tell you, this is just me. This is just me, right? You don't have to agree with me. This is just me. I don't care about your accolades. I don't care about your resume. I don't care. I just want to know who are you? Who are you? Who are you, Jessie Mae? Jessie Mae, who are you? What do Jessie Mae like? You know what I'm saying? On your resume. Is that going to tell me that you don't eat shellfish? No, it's not. Your resume is not going to say that. Is your resume going to say that you like go-go music, but secretly you really like rock, but you don't want to tell your family that? Okay. Your resume is not going to tell me that, right? Your resume is not going to tell me, right, the traumatic things that maybe you've been through. Your resume is not, going to tell me, the things that you've overcome. And this is the reason why you see life the way you see it and you behave the way your resume is not going to tell me that. Your resume basically is saying that you went to a certain school and you got whatever certain education and you decided to position yourself to study and to write and to read. That's what it's basically saying. And so as individuals, right, if we change the way we look at ourselves and how we value our own selves, right, then we can change the system in the way that we are valuing one another and valuing materialistic things. But we first must value ourselves. We first must see how we are of value and how there are people that enjoy our company, enjoy to be around us, to hear from us, to do life with us. And what we bring to our work environments, whether it's, the pessimistic, outlook of things, or being optimistic about some things, or, bringing the humor to things, or bringing the structure to things. What these people enjoy these things. They need them. And when they don't have them, then there is a void that is missing out of everyone's life. There is a void that's missing because you decided not to value yourself and not to show up as the authentic you. When you don't show up as the authentic you, you are basically telling yourself that you are not of value. The way you were created, you are not of value. That's just what it's just as simple as that. When you are not being who you are, your true self, bringing your true self into every situation, you are devaluing the very creation of who you are. It's just that simple. Now, how can I begin to value who I am? I'm glad you asked that question. How can you do this? Well, first of all, you must first love who you are. So it may sound a little strange, but that's okay. So every day, why not look in the mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself? Why not look in the mirror every day and say how great you are and how beautiful you are, handsome you are? Why not? Why not say something really genuine about yourself? Now, it does work because there was a point in time where I did not like to look at myself in the mirror. I just couldn't stand it. My ideal of being in the mirror literally was wash your face, brush your teeth, do something decent with your hair, and get out of there. Like I didn't really wear makeup. Whatever, I would throw on like some, lip gloss or whatever, not too much color, but it was just kind of like quick. I'm simple, straight to the point, whatever, get out of there. And so for me, the thought was, I need to be simple. I need to be, I don't need to be taking a lot of time doing this or whatever. But the root of it was that I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror because I did not like the person that I saw. Why? Because for years, people were telling me that I was not beautiful. People were telling me that I would never amount to anything. People were telling me, what I was going to be and how I was going to turn out. And it wasn't the same person that was saying it. Now, if it's the same person that was saying it and you was hearing it every day, yes, that would do some effects on you. But it was just in different, it was in different environments, which is really sad, right? It was really sad because, you hear it, as a child, or like you hear your peers, like when you're young, kids can be, cruel, really cruel to one another, like, oh, you're black, you're skinny, It was to the point where I was just like, I'm not black. I'm like, I'd say it again too, because I really am American, but, whatever. So we won't get into that. But anyway, but they would be like, you're black, you're skinny, you're so dark, and they would make fun of me. I think, they was just like, I'm black like this screen right here, like for real. And so I don't know, do I match this? No, I don't. But that's what they used to call me. That's what they said. And guess what? I believed them. I started to believe it. Like my head, was maybe too big for my body. I was very slim. I was a very slim child or whatever. And it just seemed like it just didn't fit. Right? I always felt like I just didn't belong. You know what I'm saying? And then I would go into learning environments or even into church or whatever. And, people that you would think that are supposed to say good things were not saying good things. Right? Based upon maybe something I said, or they didn't agree with, or I was always considered like the rebel, so to speak. And it was just like, you're going to end up here. You're going to end up pregnant. You're going to be living in the projects, those type of things. You'll never, amount to anything. You'll never be successful. This went on for years, even when I graduated high school and went into, quote unquote, my first type career and my first duty station. I heard those same words. And those words, I believe, because I was hearing them in different forms and different facets over the year. And so when I looked at myself, I didn't see, a beautiful being, a beautiful creative being, a beautiful brown, chocolate lady. I did not see that. What I saw was someone that was trying to crawl their way through life. someone that was trying to do something different than what I was surrounded by. And how doing that was going to cost me some things. And as me trying to do that, how I just kept getting pulled back down. And so I'm thinking, maybe I won't amount to anything. I got to the point where I was like, well, maybe I won't amount to anything, but I'm definitely going to be doing something if I never amount to anything. At least I'm going to try, right? So, but when you keep hearing that, over time, the thing you start to believe that until you start talking to yourself and start tearing down the words that people have built up around you. So the walls that I had placed around me was walls of words of people that they had said about me that were not true. And I had to, no one else could do it for me. No matter how much I, praised and prayed and meditated and all these things, no one could tear those walls down of those negative words and those words of lies but me. And how did I do it? Well, I start showing up every day, looking myself in the mirror and telling myself that you're beautiful. You are beautiful, Renee. You are something to be reckoned with. Your voice is of power, right? You are creative in every way. You're unique in every way. Don't allow, like I was saying these things to myself, and I had to look at myself in the mirror saying them. And then as I started doing that, I noticed that there were certain things that were happening to me internally, right, that was starting to manifest on the outside, right? So, years ago, if you may look at a picture, there just wasn't any type of makeup, right? So there just wasn't, like, even earrings, things of that nature, it just wasn't there. And so then when I realized how beautiful I am, right, even without those things, that now I can adore myself with even beautiful things, right? To basically, like an act, accentuate, right, my beauty, right, of who I am, my creativity of who I am. And so I did that by looking myself in the mirror and doing those things. Writing things down, right, saying them over and over again, right, getting courageous, getting bold, about doing certain things and saying certain things. I would cover my smile because I was made fun of because it. But now I adore it. I wear it proudly. This is who I am. When I show up in the room, whatever, I light it up because of my smile, right? Those are things that I had to say for me to wear it and to value it, because it's mine. It's nobody else's. And then recognizing that you're making fun of it because you don't have it. You really like it, but you don't have it. You really enjoy it but you don't have it, right? You really love the tone of my skin, but you're jealous because you don't have it, because you're not embracing who you are. I'm not going to sit by anymore and harp over and dwell over and run over things that have no value, which is your words of discredit, your words of darkness, your words of lies, because that's exactly what they are. They're lies. They're lies. And so I just encourage you that if you want to walk in your value, that you always bring your best self into every situation. Be honest about who you are, where you are, right? And don't allow anyone to tell you anything different. If someone has a problem with you, then you let them have that problem and you continue living your best life. Don't allow their words of lies to devalue the words, and the creation of your worth. And that's it. So don't deny your value, and know that you are a diamond, because they come in different sizes, different shapes, and different colors. And there lies the value of who you are. So do know there's a treasure in all of us. And once you know your value, then you can value others. All right, that's our time for today. Hey, if you got questions, you got comments or whatever, go ahead and hit me up, DM me on my social media. You can also drop some comments here on YouTube. But I look forward to doing life with you even more. And until next time, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.